Off game, right? Anything can happen. I've been there. I played in a lot of playoff games. You get it. Stuff happens sometimes. But if I'm going to sit here and say that I'm worried or that I'm panicked about this team, I think that I would be telling you that I don't think they're legit, that I think that the 12-5 year was somehow not real, right? And I know the Rams are a good team. I have a lot of respect for them, especially what they do offensively, but I believe that this team is legit. This Lions team is legit, at least their offense. We know their defense. Yes, the stats haven't been great the last couple weeks, and Nick Mullins and even Dak threw for 360 yards. But the bottom line is, man, I think this offense is as good as anybody left in the NFC when they play their style, when Jared Goff takes care of the football, when they run the ball, right? I think that gives me all the hope that I need, especially adding on that you're at home and it's a Sunday night primetime game. I'm so excited for this game. Of course, I'm a little bit nervous, but I would be disappointed if the Lions can't pull this one out. I just would. And the defense, the thing that I think concerns all of us is the pass defense, right? And Nick Mullins throwing for 800 yards. And like I said, Dak having a huge day. The bottom line is I'm concerned about how many points do you let up. You let up 20 last week to Minnesota. You let up 20 to Dallas. You let up 17 to Denver. You let up 24 to Minnesota the first time you played it. That's winning football, right? I kind of lean on the area where I don't care if you throw for 500 yards. If I can keep you to 20 points, we're going to win the game. So, and the Lions defense has kind of built a new identity since that Denver game where we're going to pressure half the time. We're going to cover half the time. You don't know when it's going to come. Sometimes it's going to be 8 guys blitzing. Sometimes it's going to be 3 guys rushing, right? But we're willing to trade off a couple chunk plays where you just get us beat and maybe you make a nice play for getting 4 sacks and getting 3 interceptions and getting takeaways and hitting the quarterback 15 times like you did against Minnesota last week and keeping you out of the end zone ultimately. I think that's a fair trade-off. And that's really the only thing I'm concerned about. How many points are you letting up? And
all right, two notes.
So I just don't care about how many yards. It's about the points. And this defense has been holding teams to low points.
So 2 notes, because you didn't mention the magic words that are the basis of why Rico and I are worried. One being Sam, the other being Laporta. What do you know? Don't lie to us.
I don't.
TJ. He accounted for 48 first downs for this team. He's a fabulous player. If he's not there, am I making too much of if he's not there and or just severely limited, full decoy?
It's going to hurt if he can't play. Don't get me wrong, but this offense he's not the focal point of this offense. He's a nice piece. And, I even go back to last year after they traded Hawkinson. I mean, that's when this offense really started to hit its stride. And they had the same tight ends, James Mitchell and Brock Wright. You know what I mean? So I think that Sam Laporta is a nice piece, but this isn't a Travis Kelce or Rob Gronkowski back in the day where this is our offense. We have to get the ball to this guy or we're in trouble.
I think it is.
I disagree with you. I think that they
TJ, at the beginning of the year, I was with that, but no, he's carved out a niche in this offense that he is one of the key pieces to this offense. And, yeah, it is one of those things that I do think that he's reached Kelce level where you can count on him. Where, like I said, he's gotten you 48 first downs. Like, he is the security blanket for Jared Goff. We know about all the other plays, but across the middle, that's Laporta territory. So I do think that this is going to be a key problem if he's not there.
I would agree with you that talent-wise he is, but I would disagree. Go back to the Minnesota game the first time they played. The Lions scored 30 points. You want to know Laporta's stats? 3 catches, 18 yards. Right. So what I'm saying is it's not like they can't function without Sam Laporta.
But it's not that. TJ, it's not that. But as you know, sometimes you could have no stats, but if you're the distraction, if people are focused on you and stopping you and other people get catches or it opens up the field for other folks, he is that guy that, you need to know what Laporta's at all times. If you're the Rams, if you're any team, he's reached that status where somebody's pointing and saying, there's Laporta right there.
I think he's an important part. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say he's not.
According to you, he's just a used diaper.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying this offense is not designed to favor the tight end. We saw how that went the first 6 games last year where it was TJ Hawkinson. Got to get the ball to Hawkinson. How did that go? Not great, right? So Laporta comes in, and he's a tremendous player. I'm not trying to say he's not. He's an incredible talent, and I agree with you that he is Kelce-like with the abilities that he has. This offense, however, does not focus around one guy. I think Ben Johnson has shown us, even when it's last year, right? Amon-Ra missing a couple games, or Gibbs missed a couple games this year. Now Laporta, you got to find ways to adjust, and you have enough guys to be able to keep humming. You know what I mean? So, but Mike, going back to your original question, I wouldn't be surprised to see him play at least a limited role. I think that, that certainly there's some gamesmanship when you hit the playoffs and, hey, we're going to make it look like you're going to play and, make them prepare for you all week. And then, Sunday, maybe I don't know if that's going on. I don't believe it is. I think that they're rolling him out in practice. And look, my history and my experience with hyperextension when it comes to a knee, there's no structural damage, which is good. So it really comes down to a pain tolerance, a pain management. How much can you handle? How many routes can you run? How many plays can you give us in a row before you say, it's just killing me, man. Like, I'm hurting the team. I can't be out there. So that's what it's going to come down to. But I think, and look, this was the same injury that happened to Travis Kelce Thursday of week 1 when the Lions played them Sunday night. Mm-hmm. And we know Travis Kelce really pushed hard to play in that game. It was a pain management. Totally different situation. That's week 1. This is playoffs, right? If you're anywhere close to healthy in the playoffs, I think you go. I think you have to be smart about it. But if my gut, and I don't know, this is no inside information whatsoever, my gut is telling me they've been trying to work him into practice a little bit as the week's gone on. Today it sounded like he did a little bit more. I think they're going to try to give him tomorrow's walkthrough. They're going to say, look, how are you feeling? Can you give us 20 plays? Can you give us 15 plays? Hey, maybe the plan is to give you 15 plays. And he rolls out on Sunday and says, guys, man, like I'm feeling really good. No, I've had a week now to recover, and hey, let me loose. That could certainly be the case as well. But as of right now, if I had to guess, I would say he would be active, but more on a limited basis. And I think they adjust based off how he's feeling come Sunday night.
Well, one of my concerns is – go ahead, Mike.
No. It was just Rico. I was just saying if he can give you 75% of who he is, I would be with Rico, where I'd go back down to a 5. Go ahead.
One of my biggest concerns is the Lions secondary, which leads into our prop bet. I don't know if you heard it driving in, TJ. Under Cooper Kupp
that's
being
a good
wide
one,
open.
Rico. I heard a lot of those.
Well, it's because I'm good at my job.
More tackles this week. Anzalone or Dan Skip. Wow, Rico. Wow.
All right, Cooper Kupp. No, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp wide open. Over under 1.5.
No. Oh, that's Evan. All right, Evan, we're going to have a chat after this, buddy. We're going to have a chat.
Hey, we have exclusive audio, by the way, of David. David had something to say when you walked in the studio. David, do you care to share?
All right, hey, I'll see y'all next week. All right, it's been a hell of a 12 minutes to open the show.
Prime the pump.
Yeah, just walking right into this.
Prime the pump.
God,
I gave you Cooper Kupp stuff.
It seems inevitable that he's going to have at least one. Where you're like, what?
How the F is this guy open, Mike?
How are you covering
him know.
With the linebacker? How? Like, stop. I'm like, if Cooper Kupp, if they match up somehow Jack Campbell or Alex Anzalone on Cooper Kupp and he goes for 80 yards, I'm going to come in Monday asking for Aaron Glenn's head. It's unacceptable. It should never happen.
When you watch it again, you look at that person on the sideline, it's just TJ throwing his phone up in the air, turning around like, what? And you know what? I can't.
Would it be
you're
worse?
Just gonna see you're going to see a
TJ goes over and grabs the microphone from Theo and just gets on there. Will somebody please cover Cooper Kupp?
Can anyone tell me how the F this is happening?
Would it be worth me running out on the field and tackling Cooper Kupp if he's wide open?
For you personally, no. For us as a radio show, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, it's inevitable. It's going to happen at least once, but my goodness.
Let me ask you a question as you were prepping for the game, because I know you said you were digging into it. Like, I was shocked when I was doing the same. You realize the Rams have the #1 pass rush in football since week 9?
No, I didn't realize that.
That's crazy, right?
And, I'm not that impressed with the guys outside of Aaron Donald, to be honest with you. I think they do a nice job of scheming some timely blitzes where they can get guys, free rushes. I think that the rookie Kobe Turner, Look, I'm just going to say it. I think his sack numbers are inflated a little bit after watching the film.
Okay.
I mean, there was a couple against the Giants where, they're coming 5, 6, 7 seconds into the play. I value those sacks a little bit different rather than, hey, you just beat the guy in front of you and got to the quarterback and disrupted the play. I think Kobe Turner is a nice player. Don't get me wrong, but I like our interior threes matchup against him. And obviously you're going to have to take care of Aaron Donald. He hasn't been the same. I think it was 8 or 9 sacks this year. He's normally the high teens, low 20s type of guy, but this is playoffs. I mean, I'm going to expect vintage, classic Aaron Donald going out there trying to wreck a game. They're going to have a plan for him, but Kobe Turner's a guy that, he does some nice things. But when you look at the sacks and you actually watch how he got those sacks, you're like, right place, right time for a lot of them. But he is a guy that you can't fall asleep on because it seems like a lot of these offensive linemen he comes in the game and they're like, oh, he's a backup nose tackle, and then boom, he hits him with a hand swipe or a swim move, and it's like, oh, what? Wow, wasn't expecting that. They know what they know what they're in for. But outside of that, I think, look, this is a defense, Mike, that is unique because I don't think that they have any edge guys that are going to threaten Penei Sewell and threaten Taylor Decker. I think all their pressure comes from the inside, and whether it's those two defensive tackles, whether it's Ernest Jones blitzing up the middle, that's where they tend to get a lot of their pressure, and I think that plays into our strength. I think our interior three is one of the best in the NFL when you talk about Ragnow and Jonah and Graham. I think they've done a nice job. So it's going to be a heavyweight matchup that I can't wait to watch.
All right, let's get to I want to get some of the people involved. You got a question for TJ? It's the drill. We're going to go right to it. We'll do it next. Oh, man, I love when TJ and Rico fight.